Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this HP Pavilion laptop model 14-CE2064ST. Alright, so this computer wasn't turning on. I actually opened it up and found out that the reason why was they had this broken piece rolling around inside and it shorted it out. But anyways, we're going to pull these two rubber feet out. I just used my fingernails to get this out. They actually broke the one for this, that's why the screw just comes out. The metal piece actually broke off. We're gonna see, I'm gonna try and like fix the hinge area because they broke that, so it's gonna need some epoxy or something to hold it together. Otherwise you'd have to replace the entire keyboard assembly. But anyways, we're gonna remove those two screws using a JS1 screwdriver. Then we're gonna switch to JS0 and remove these. They stripped these screws a little bit, so it's a little tough to remove them, but that's what we're gonna have to do. All right, so switch to the JS0 and we'll get these screws out. You want to give a good pressure pushing into the screw as you take these out, and then yeah, just get them out. All right, if this video helps you out, please make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. If you can't do that, it would be greatly appreciated if you can watch a few of my other videos, because that tells the algorithm to share my channel. Alright, if I didn't already mention, you want to keep the screws in order. The way I do that is I put them on my desk flat side down like that on in the pattern I remove them. So 3 down here and 2 up here. Okay, this bottom cover is a bit difficult to remove. I don't know if it's easier to remove because the customer already did something with it, but the way I do, I have to get like a very thin tool like this. This isn't a knife, it's like a spatula that was actually for a pharmacy, so it's actually super thin, not like the frosting ones that you get. So if you use like one of those, you might want to have to file it thinner or Dremel it or sand it or something to make it super thin. This thing is about the thickness of a piece of paper. Anyways, we're gonna go in this gap here, and then we're gonna kind of like try and pop this up. Then you want to skip over the port there, then work your way down the side. If you can, try and pull it up as you're going, and then you can see we can pop the clips by doing that. And then once you get it in a little bit, you can kind of slide the tool down as you're pulling on this, right? And then just keep going. You don't want to stick the tool too far in, you're just going at the edge just to help pop the clip up. Okay, if you go too far in, then you're going to end up damaging something. So we're just going to go here again. So, and then you can see they actually like bent the metal out here trying to do this. So I don't know what they used to do it, but they damaged it. Anyways, we're going to keep pulling on this and going that way. Okay, once you get the two sides unclipped, it helps to kind of push your thumb on the hinge area and pull up there, and then you can go ahead and go along the back here. Right, again, you're not sticking the tool very far in, just barely enough to get the clips to pop out. All right, so once you get these sides and that out, then you can kind of lift it up. You might have to wiggle it a little bit, and there we go. There's the bottom cover. All right, so to repair this, we had to get rid of all the debris, disconnect the battery, open the laptop, press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. Then I checked the charge port here. I opened the laptop a little bit, undid the screws, then closed it so the hinge stood up. Then I can fold it all the way back. I pulled this DC jack charge port connector out, and then I plugged it in and saw that it lit up. Excuse me, but that was with the battery pulled out. There's a M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD here. This is just a quick look inside because we already got it working. I don't want to mess around with other things. The RAM comes out by pulling the two tabs to the side like that, pops up, and then you can pull this out. All right, this is a PC4 2666V stick of RAM. There's an 8 gig stick. You can put a 16 gig stick if you want. I don't know if there's integrated RAM. There most likely is. But yeah, anyways, if you're going to mess with this cable, this is the LCD LVDS connector. You do want to remove the battery and then press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds before messing with this, so you don't risk damaging the backlight circuit or anything like that. Here's the battery model, HT03XL. All right, there's 2 screws here. JAS1 screws and then 3 JAS1 screws here, this one, and this one. Once you take all the screws out, you can go underneath here and pull it straight up, and then it will slide out from these battery connectors. When you put the new battery, make sure you line it up right before pressing it down. If you put it off like at the wrong angle and connect the pins in the wrong spot, then you can fry your computer. So I'm gonna clean the dust out of this fan because it looks kind of gross, so we'll just clean that out a little bit. I'm gonna have to use my electric, or I guess I'll probably use my handheld air blower off to the side, but let me do that. I'm gonna blow the dust out and I'll be back. All right, so let me clean this a little bit as well. All right, I'll be back. All right, so I'm back. Okay, so what we're gonna need to do is fix this hinge here, because the screw mounts under are no longer holding well. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna zoom in a bit, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up the laptop slightly, okay? And that kind of pulls the hinge up, so there we go. And then we're gonna undo the hinge screws. All right, we are gonna use a JAS1 screwdriver here, and we're gonna undo this screw. I don't know if I can actually undo all of them. Okay, actually I can't. I think they broke the hinge, the screw mounts underneath. This screw came out, the other one is stuck in there because the screw mount is broken. So I don't know if I'll even be able to get this thing out. Let's see, I'm gonna try and undo the screw while kind of putting some pressure here, but as you can see, it doesn't want to come out. Sometimes when that happens, if you're lucky, you can kind of get underneath with a flathead screwdriver or something. So let's see if I can do that. Nope. Let's try with my really thin pry tool here. And if we can't even get in between this, I don't know how we're going to get it out. So as you can see, even with this, that's like thin as a paper, it doesn't want to come out. Sometimes you can try and undo, like twist the screw as you're trying to force this under, and it kind of puts pressure on the screw mount below. So we'll do that. Oh, I think I got the tool underneath. And then we can kind of, with that little bit of pressure pulling up on it, that will be sometimes enough pressure to pull that little metal insert out and allow us to get the screw out. Let's try with a flathead screwdriver now. Yeah, I don't think that's going under. I don't know. Okay, I'll try and push both at the same time, but yeah, nope, that's too difficult. Okay, so this tool kind of got underneath, and I can kind of twist it a little to put more pressure. I don't know if that's gonna work, but feels like it came out a tiny bit. Is it enough to get the screwdriver in there? Not really, kind of, not really. Okay, so I'm going to try and get the screwdriver in there as I kind of undo this, but it's just spinning it around, so I don't think that's going to work. I don't know how we're going to get this screw out. It's like permanently stuck in there. Okay, that screwdriver kind of went in, and let's try a slightly bigger one now, see if we can get another one in there or if it's stuck there. Okay, the bigger screwdriver got in, but it's still stuck. Let's try the next size up. The magnet from the speaker pulled it out. Okay, it's kind of coming out. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this screw out. Let's see, let's go up another size. I mean, it's very slightly coming out, but not enough. Not too sure what else to do here. I have these other tools with like a little claw on it, but I don't think that's gonna work. Sorry if this is going out of view. It's hard to even see what I was looking at, but yeah, that doesn't seem to want to work. So I'm not too sure. We'll try another size up of the screwdriver, but I think it's not gonna fit. Yep, that's too big. So I don't know. This screw is really stuck in there. It doesn't seem to want to come out. And I don't want to try and use this tool to kind of twist it out and end up breaking it. So what can I do? Let's try let's try with this. I don't know if this will reach. Let's try. Okay, we'll try with this screwdriver handle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get the flathead screwdriver under there, and then I'm going to twist it as I do it to try and pry it up. Come on, get back under there. Okay. So I'm twisting the flathead screwdriver to put some pressure underneath to try and pry it up. Oh, it keeps popping out. Let me use the smaller one. This screwdriver is missing the insert that holds this better. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna need like, oops, sorry, I'm going out of view. So I'm trying to twist the flathead screwdriver to pry it up as I unscrew. And it did make a bigger gap, I feel. So it might be working, kind of. I don't know. It might just be breaking the plastic underneath. Alright, switch to a bigger one again. And yeah, we're definitely getting under there now. Okay, let's switch to an even bigger one. I think now I can probably use this kind of thing. I can use one of these, maybe. Okay, yep. Get that under and try and twist that out. It's coming up even further. All right, switch to the largest one of that I have. So I have this one, even larger. Get that under there, and we'll basically twist that to pry it up as I undo the screw. And it feels like it's out. Yep, there we go. Okay, so we finally got that screw out. That was a pain, but we did it. Okay, now we can open up the laptop screen a little bit. Okay, make sure it pulls up the hinge. I like to push on the little hinge part while I get my fingers underneath here to pull it up. Just like that, and then we can let it close down. You can see now the hinge stays up. We can swing this up like that. Here you can see where the little screw mounts are that broke off. So this one, see that? So the screw is supposed to hold in there, but it's broken off. So these you can't really do much about it, because if you glue them back in there, they're usually not going to hold too well. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out all the loose plastic here. Be very careful, because you don't want to drop stuff that can conduct electricity into these little boards. Let's flip this upside down. Okay, more plastic pieces coming out here. Alright, this is somewhat of a pain. And this one is underneath this speaker, so I don't know how I can really fix that. Huh. This speaker, I think, is underneath here. So I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna put some epoxy into like this little gap here, and then around here. I don't think I want to use epoxy in the speaker itself, but I might have to. So that means I'll have to lift the speaker up. Okay, so lift it up. Maybe I'll put like a popsicle stick or something underneath to keep it raised up. Let's see. Okay, so get that lifted up. I can get the epoxy in between over there. I can actually probably even get that little insert out. Let's see. Can I? No, kind of, not really. Yeah, no, I don't want to end up breaking it. Let's try with the needle nose pliers just a little bit. Maybe I have to go in here and push it out first. Oh yeah, it's definitely coming out. Okay, let's grab it from the side here. There we go. Alright, so we got all that broken stuff out. What we're gonna do now is fill that up with some epoxy. Okay, it looks like that's all broken. Okay, so we're gonna clean this out, try and get all that debris out. Okay, use a toothbrush to kind of clean it up better. Okay, so it's actually broken in multiple spots, but all the pressure is right on this little beam there. So we're gonna mix up some JB Weld, fill the sides here. We do want to be careful with this board. If you want, you can actually wrap this. Let's actually wrap that with like some electrical tape to keep it safe. All right, so let me see here. So I'll drop this down first. Okay, and I'm gonna undo the screws holding this board in place. There's this plastic here in the way, so okay, I guess that just comes out. I guess that was, oh, maybe it was supposed to be not covering it, but it was broken, so. Okay, so we'll undo these screws. Looks like there's just 3. One, 2, and last one, 3. Alright, we do have to take this little USB out. And hopefully now we can swing this board up and out. It might help to kind of undo this latch here and then pull the cable out. Okay, and let's see, can we lift this up? Okay, just like that. All right, so and probably, let's see, this goes there and there. So you'll want to wrap maybe this piece and then this whole piece with some electrical tape or something. So let me get some electrical tape and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I got some Kapton tape, which is like a high temperature electrical tape, and we're gonna use that to wrap over it. Okay, basically we don't want it to short out anything over here. Okay, so we're just gonna peel some of this tape. Not sure how much we'll need, but that should be plenty. Okay, so we got this tape. Let's see, we can wrap it about there. Shouldn't need a crazy amount, so cut that. Okay, so get that. We're just gonna wrap it so it doesn't get on there. Don't cover the screw hole. Okay, so we're gonna cut this piece off now. Then we're gonna wrap this over. And oops, now I'm covering the screw hole. But anyways, we can poke a hole through that. So for now we got that. Then we're gonna wrap this side as well. Okay, so the main thing is that and that. Okay, so we'll wrap this up. Probably should cut this in 2 pieces, but Okay, so I'll wrap this up. Alright, and then we got to wrap this area as well because we're going to put the JB Weld all in this. Okay, so I do need a little bit more. Cut this in half. Okay, hopefully that's enough. We'll wrap this part. Oh, that should already be plenty actually. And then wrap that. Okay, so we got all of this wrapped up and protected. Okay, so maybe I can also put some this way, just in case it goes on top. Okay, then we'll drop this back in. It goes in at an angle like this because this headphone jack goes into the hole there. And then you can, once you get it all lined up, you can swing it back down. Okay, if it's hitting the hinge, be careful. Alright, there we go. Then we gotta get this latch back up, get this cable back in. Alright, there we go, and flip that latch down. Just like that. There we go, latch that down. Okay, so that's good. We're gonna now get these screws back in. I do need to puncture a hole in this because that one accidentally covered the screw mount hole. Oh, actually, no, that's fine. Okay. Alright, so we'll get the screws and put those back in. Go. Just like that. And like this. And the last one up here. Okay, we can get this thing back in there. Okay, so again, we're gonna fill up this area with JB Weld and then we're gonna put it back together. Hopefully my phone has enough storage to record the entire thing because it is running out. Okay, so let me get this stuff together and I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. So we got some JB Weld here. We're gonna move this aside. Let's actually get this popsicle stick back under there. Okay. Come on, lift it back up. Okay. Alright, so JB Weld, you need to mix 2 equal parts of the black and white. So grab that stuff here. Okay, and we're gonna mix them up and then we're gonna fill in the gaps here. So I don't know, we might need a lot of this stuff. Okay. Which kind of oozed out into the lid, so I'm just gonna get that. Okay. Maybe a little bit more. So that probably should be more than enough. Of course, it varies depending on what you're working on and how it's broken, so keep that in mind. Alright, there we go. I'm going to clean this off. And we'll use the other side to get the black one. Okay. Want about equal amount. Probably about there. Okay. Hopefully that's about equal. Okay, we'll clean this off. Alright, then we'll just stir the 2 components together and we'll get a somewhat dark gray color. It's back, looks good. All right, then we're gonna fill up this area here. Okay, and you want to be careful because you don't want it going into the hinge itself, because you don't want the hinge to be stuck from the epoxy. So try and fill up this little screw mount gap here. Okay, fill up this. Actually, I probably made way too much of the JB Weld. All right, let's see if we can lower it down now a little bit. We'll get the epoxy into this screw mount hole. Into there. Okay, so this will just form a base for the JB Weld to hold on to, and then we're going to add more from the top. Okay, so just like this. And again, we taped off the board here to try and keep it safe. So if some of the JB Weld goes in there, it shouldn't be an issue. Okay, I don't know why they make this part hollow. It breaks a lot easier. That's how they designed it. All right, and get the JB Weld up here as well. Okay. Okay, so we got that. We can close this hinge down now. It has one of the raised screw mounts, so that's good. It helps align it. Okay, that one raised screw mount right there. Okay, and then we're going to get the JB Weld into here better. You can actually see there's a lot of room for it to fill in underneath, so we might have to lift it back up and then put some more. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift it up again, just like before. Get my hand in there, push with my thumb on the hinge, and that. Lift it up, and then we'll close this back down. Okay, and I can tell there's a lot of like room here for the JB Weld. So what I'll do is I'll get the JB Weld here, and I'll smear it on the bottom. Okay. Smear it along this bar here. Smear it all along the bottom. Okay. Smear it all along the bottom here. Okay, and I think we should be good to lower it down. I'll put a little bit more here because I saw plenty of room for JB Weld to go fill in this gap here. So get that in there. Get that in there. Okay. All right, that's a lot, so it should hold really well. Fill more into this gap here. Okay. Then we'll close this back up, and hopefully we should be good. Actually, there's a lot more room for stuff here. Okay. Let's close this up. Get the screw mount to line up. Okay. Oh, I need to be careful. It's gonna go underneath. Okay. So now that we got all the JB Weld filled up, we can kind of put a little more to kind of build a blob to connect it all. Like that, and get this just like that. Build a blob there. Okay, build a blob here. Okay, so that should be a good amount all around. And then it helps to put a piece of plastic wrap or something over this So that way when it cures, it won't stick to the bottom cover. You don't want that to actually stick to the bottom cover. So you can use any kind of thin plastic film. Usually I'll use like Saran Wrap or something. Also this kind of stuff works well to use for like packaging, where it kind of sticks, and then they use it to wrap things. Okay, so this is kind of some stretchy cling wrap kind of thing. So we'll cut a piece of this. Okay, and try and avoid getting it over the circuitry area. So I'll wrap this. And this can also be pulled off later. So for now, we're gonna stick it on like this. Okay, just to cover up all the glue mounts. And then we'll put the bottom cover on and let it set overnight. It has to set for 15 hours, so keep that in mind. You don't want to just put it all back together right away. So we're gonna snap this into place so that way it can cure properly. Okay, so we only need to really get this corner in because that's where the epoxy is setting. And then after the 15 hours, okay, we will open it back up, peel that out, and then put all the screws back in. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. If you can't do that, please consider watching a few of my other videos because that helps with the algorithm. And I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's drop this. Bye.